Okay, so for the past 2 years, I've gone through quite a few cameras. Okay, welcome back to another video today, YouTube, and it's almost the end of the year, and like many people, usually around this time you start thinking, should you get a new camera? Should you buy something else for yourself? Should you start transitioning into something better? And so I just wanted to make this video to sort of talk to you all about the importance of downsizing and not having the most amount of cameras at once. Earlier in my photography journey in general, I found myself always thinking that I need more, I need more, I need more. And in doing so, it caused me to not really become an expert in some of the things that I already owned. And so I had to somewhat shake out of that mentality to really start to learn how to take really good pictures, and most importantly, how to take pictures that I like without feeling that I have to buy something new or to upgrade or to get something else to be able to get results that I personally enjoy looking at. Now, the idea of downsizing is not always the best and most favored opinion to some people, because it's like buying a pair of shoes that are super rare and then finding yourself selling it because you aren't wearing it, but then it's just like, oh my God, I sold a collector's item. Do I want it back? Do I really want to do this? But honestly, just trust your photography journey. If you feel like you've ended a chapter with a camera, if you feel like you've ended an experience with a camera and you feel like you can't really get the same amount of happiness from it, I think it's important to just downsize. One of the biggest things that I've learned is cameras, like anything else, once you start buying them, you just can't stop. You use it for a couple of months and then you sort of kind of get tired of it and want something else. Of all the cameras that I've owned in the past 2 years, I can honestly say that the Nikon L35 AF is probably the one that I've used the most and that I've probably become an expert in. And so now I find myself in a position in my photography journey where I'm just looking to downsize. Granted, I've been downsizing for the past 8 months, and so now I only have 4 cameras left, which are these. Even that I feel like is a bit too much. I often find myself just sort of going for the cameras that I use the most. And like always, it's gonna be my Nikon L35, and lately it's also been my Mamiya 6. And personally, in my opinion, I don't really find myself needing more than 3 cameras. And as long as I have the ability to get all that I need from the cameras that I currently have, then I think it's important to really spend some good time taking as many photos, pushing as many rolls, and just taking as many clips as you can with the cameras that you have so that you can really enjoy the experience, really learn the ins and outs of the camera, and really understand what you might need for your next purchase. Now, to some people, this might sound a little bit crazy, because why wouldn't you want to have a ton of cameras at once, especially when you may have found yourself in the opportunity to buy another camera to add to your collection? But sometimes collections, in my opinion, just allows you to really not take full advantage of some of the cameras that you have, and you really sometimes hone yourself from not being able to become an expert with some of the equipment and gear that you have. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't love all the cameras that I have, because you've all witnessed I sold my Fuji GA645, quickly realized that I really needed it, and found some way to essentially bring it back into my collection. And I'm kind of in that same position to where I'm finding myself not using it as much as I thought I would be using it. I also have an Olympus XA2 that I've used for literally a couple of shoots, but outside of that, it spends majority of its time just sitting and collecting dust. And honestly, that probably makes me more upset than not using the camera itself. I hate knowing that I have the equipment and it's just honestly collecting dust when it's sitting in my home. Now, I will say each and every single one of the cameras that I've had has somewhat contributed to the knowledge that I've gained in photography. When I owned the Voigtlander, that was the first real mechanical-ish camera that I've ever owned, and it taught me how to manually focus with a camera like that. It was a completely different focusing system, similar to the Leica, and I had never used that before. That was something that was completely new, and now that I'm using my Mamiya 6, I didn't have to go through sort of that learning curve, and I'm thankful for that. When it comes to my Mamiya 645, the camera that literally taught me film photography, I learned just about everything on that camera. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that I don't want to be carrying around anything too bulky. If you've paid attention to any of the other videos of my channel, I usually tend to stick to cameras that are super lightweight. Unlike many photographers, I'm not going for the most expensive brand or the camera that's the most popular. I'm usually just looking for something that takes really good pictures, but that I can carry around with me all the time. And so essentially, I say all that to say is that I think it's important to consistently rotate your cameras, but I think it's also important to figure out what you like. What are some of the things that are particularly important to you? Like me, it's quality, portability, size, and most importantly, to just shoot the cameras that you enjoy shooting. I've been thinking about picking up either a Fuji X100V or an XE4 or even an X100F. I haven't really made that decision yet because I don't like to use this camera to take my digital shots. It's a little bit too bulky. I like to stick to using it just for video. Yeah, I just been wanting to sort of dabble a little bit both with film and digital when I go out, but I don't want it to look too digital, if that makes sense. I just wanted to do this video because I am planning to downsize and even considering making a couple of replacements to some of the cameras that I currently own besides my Mamiya 6 and my Nikon L35AF. Outside of that, anything can go. And so I really would like to hear your opinion. How many cameras do you feel like someone should have at once? Is there a right number? Should you have no more than this or that? I'd love to hear all of your opinions. And I do have 2 really good videos coming up after this one, so please look forward to those. I really appreciate it if you made it this far into this video. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. This has been a crazy journey for me, so I really appreciate everyone who stuck around. Please make sure to leave this video a thumbs up, comment on the video, let me know your opinions, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel, and until the next one, peace.